Okay, there we go. Last time I said that I will implement a dual grid, and actually I did, and actually working. So we're going to see how it actually operates, what is done. So let's see. Here's our grid. Now here we point where the Earth is. However, we don't want it to look like this. Actually, we want to have a separate grid with tiles that will represent how it should be painted. As you can see here in this square, you have only one part of it, so the quarter should be painted, and here another quarter on a different location, and this happens through everything. Instead of painting it by hand and choosing the tiles, so here are the tiles, by the way. It's originally based on 15 tiles, but I made some duplications here. So we have, like, for example, the whole land is duplicated 4 times, and I have a variation. I have like everything duplicated second time, and I can actually choose one or another. There is some randomization process involved to choose which one to pick up. So when we run the game, it actually generates all of the tiles, and you can actually see how it looks. So once I start the game, you see that all tiles were dynamically generated and it was painted automatically. So I don't need to by hand to implement it. And by the way, I also implemented this feature to just draw them, and I can just add them or remove them dynamically. So actually each one of the squares has 4 tiles. One of the top right, one the top left, one that is the tile of top bottom down, bottom right, and another bottom left. So here we have basically the tiles. They are automatically generated. I don't need to paint them, and they are actually accurate. So they will go. I'll have an exact limit of the collision. So each box is squared. Each box will have in the future the collision. It doesn't have collision right now. I need to add it in the future, and that's what was done. So maybe I'll have some explanation about the script. I'm not sure if you're interested in it. If you want to ask questions, feel free to comment. If you want to, maybe you want to download the script, see how it works, or maybe some kind of example. So ask your question. At the first video, I had a question about a Linux. If you can, the guy wanted to switch from Linux into Windows, and he asked if he can do so in terms of development. So it was not related to a question. I knew a lot of the differences between Linux because I worked in both. And so I could answer him. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask. So there you go. So on the ready, I actually painting the entire scene. I'm painting all of the tiles. So I'm using all of the tiles that are painted in my original ground tiles, and then I drove them, but I drove them in the visual ground tiles, and actually I disabled the visibility of ground tiles. I don't want them to be visible. I just want the visual layer to be visible after that. And here I connect the mouse clicks so that I will be able to paint dynamically. And the draw tiles, you need to actually to look at the 4 nearby tiles, 4 nearby squares, to see if there should be painted a tile. This is what it actually does. And here's the drawing process. So it determines what is the type of nearby tile should be, and then it checks the exact tile that should be painted. So here I'm just saying, okay, you've got these coordinations, and I'm giving him the information about how this looks. Okay, so here, get tile info. I need to get information about 4 nearby tiles, and then to say him what they should look, how they look. It's upper left, upper right, bottom right, and bottom left. So I give 4 information about 4 nearby tiles, and I give him the count, and after that I can decide which tile should I paint. And here, while I'm deciding which tile to paint, I first check what is the count of tiles that were, like, there was a ground, for example 1, and if I have 1, then actually I can paint one of those 4 tiles because I have only 1 ground. And then I'm deciding which one of them is actually I should paint. And the same, it goes the same process for all of the rest of the tiles. If the count is 2, those are like options for 2 counts. And even when you have a wall, if you have a 3, for example, there are 3 grounds and 1 is empty, those are 4 options. And the last one, I'm making here some randomization process. It's when you have all 4 tiles or 4 parts of the tile are ground. So here are 4 options, and I randomly decide which one to pick because I want some kind of randomization process. I don't want the full tiles to be all similar at all. Now, I added here another set of tiles to add more randomizations. I want to add variations in how the tiles will look, and this gives me this very good looking. You see the tiles, they always change. You have some tiles in one type and some tiles another type, and there's some randomization that happens. This is how I can basically make automatically to paint the level. It's predetermined, so every time you paint here a tile, it will be same type, so it doesn't change every time you run it. It's predetermined, but you don't need to paint them by hand, and this allows you to dynamically generate those visuals. That's it for today. And by the way, last time I made some improvements. I hope to get my feedback for them. First of all, I added the option to create pictures. So I will add some pictures to the thumbnail and you'll see me. And another feature that I added was to normalize the volume. So after I stop recording, the volume gets normalized, and then I can actually, maybe you'll hear me better next time. I have all kinds of improvements from day in, day out, and okay, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment me what could be improved, what did you like, what questions you have. So there you go. Have a nice day.